Jeez.
Hey, this ain't a drill. Only time I playing is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay with some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and Hit. Talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo gon' make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
40 keys over here. 40 keys.
Go get your shine on, son.
Oh my gosh. What's everybody? It's air producer in the building.
All right.
You guys missed the Family Feud over here. That's hilarious.
Yo, because he literally comes out of nowhere like, I'm going first, y'all.
Like, push the button.
Right.
It was a joke, man.
I know you was joking.
I
We
know
know.
y'all
Calm down.
But the way you was expressing yourself, you
treading on thin ice right now.
You ain't really seen it like it go. Like, just come on, man. All right.
Oh
so this is what we're gonna do. I have to get this off my chest.
Go ahead.
My guy Tommy got it off his chest Friday. I don't want to get too deep into it, like he did, because I have my personal reasons for why we are no longer part of the fan base network. But I'll say this: leadership as a whole is judged by its fruit, right? And I think that goes for every circumstance. When you look at how we're supposed to judge leadership, we shouldn't be looking at the person. We shouldn't be looking at, their faults, their shortcomings, whatever the case. What's their fruit? What are they producing? Are they producing an atmosphere that's conducive for people to grow? Are they producing an atmosphere that is creating success for themselves and others? If that's working, and that is producing at a level that is, average to above average amongst their peers, like if you measure them against somebody else and they're like, all right, he's par, right? To me, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. I think generally people can get behind somebody like that, right? In the same way that they get behind Sean McDermott. So anyway, when it comes to bad leadership, though, I think the fault is usually not the person's, but the people around the person. And what I mean by that is, typically with bad leadership, there's not enough people around that person telling that person, hey, you going left, right? So I would just like to say that I think going forward, I think you and I know what the drive is for this show. You and I know what the goal is for this show. And I think we're done playing around with networks right now. I think we are the network at this point.
I mean, I'm just going to say this.
I'm telling you that.
I'm going to make it very abundantly clear. I'm 41 years old. I have 2 jobs. I have talent.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the talent, this ain't no clubhouse. We ain't friends. We don't hang out outside. Not me and you, but we don't hang out outside of the show. You want the talent, you compensate for talent.
That's right.
You don't demand things of your talent unless you're compensating them in a way to see that they see fit. So if you don't want to do that, you can get left, and that's what they chose to do. I mean, that's as nice as I can say it.
Yeah,
that's as nice as I could. I can say more.
Please, I mean, we listen. We here for it. I'm sure the people want to know exactly what we're talking about.
I can tell you. Well, I'll say it like this.
Yeah.
I'll say it like this. There were people in our Discord that didn't even know we were part of a network. That's all you need to know about that network. Right. That's all you need to know. If nobody knows you and you got a big following, then you're nothing. So guess what? We're going to be something, and we'll be just fine. It's 15 people watching the show right now. But guess what? We with the people we love, the people that talk to us, and people that matter.
Yep.
You can have my talent because you feed into me, you pour into me.
Yep.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's it. All right. So now that we got that off our chest,
Now we got that off our chest. I got a bone to pick with you, talent. You guys ain't pouring into me.
How you figure that?
The most egregious misstep last show.
Really?
The most egregious.
On our show?
Yes.
How?
There's a centennial in the midst of the Bills Mafia.
Oh, you didn't say nothing.
Nobody said anything about Marvelous
No,
Levy.
no, yes, they did. Somebody said happy birthday, Marv.
That's not good enough.
That's not good enough.
The people got to say, I want more. I got to go
That's
through
part
this
of that
now.
accountability for
That's
leadership,
it.
right? Okay, y'all got to be accountable. That's on y'all. Sorry.
Marv Levy, born August 3rd, 1925. That was 100 years ago, 7 days ago, 8 days ago now. Do you know the man started coaching in high school in 1951?
Damn.
He was a coach for the Chiefs at one point in 1978. He was a Chiefs head coach.
Yeah.
He's in the Canadian Hall of Fame, the American Hall of Fame. You know his leadership style? Philosophical.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine those mutton heads is drinking and stuff? He's like, to be or not to be. And then they're drunk over like, are we gonna win today or what are we? Oh God. That's why Thurman lost his helmet. He was overthinking.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm glad that I had a chance to right my wrongs while you're still breathing the same air as I am. Happy birthday, Marv.
All right, Boo, what's going on? Joey, what's going on? D, what up? Tommy, what up? Alton, what up? Let's see who we got. Laura's in the building. We got Nate in the building. What's good? Who else we got? Roy, what's going on, bro? All right, so let's get to a few of these comments first here. Joey says, go Bills, go Bills. Yes, sir. Joey also says that was definitely a crappy game for our first preseason game. Even New England had a blowout.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. This is the primer. I spent a long time today thinking about how I was going to talk about this game.
Okay.
And I figured I arrived on, we'll just go position by position and just kind of dissect it.
Okay.
I had hella notes. Hella notes. I had three different documents that I had to combine, and I still have more. Yeah, I had a lot of thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to get through as much of that as we possibly can today. What was I going to here? There was one more. Oh, Joey says Mike White, Trubisky, or Buechele.
We're going to start with quarterbacks.
Okay. All right. So let's do this before we get to that. Do we have any stuff we heard?
No, I ain't no stuff I heard, but I had stuff I experienced.
Okay, what'd you experience?
The clan took a trip to Rochester.
Oh yeah. Oh, you went to Strong's?
We already did that.
Oh, okay.
We went back. We did that 2 weeks ago. We went back this Saturday.
Okay.
Because there's a little thing that everybody talks about, and I'm so tired of hearing about it. Even though I can't partake, I was so tired of it. Pittsburgh Dairy. I took T and Ken to the place where the trade day Sunday and the ice cream.
The ice cream joint.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Did you get it?
No, I didn't get anything.
Oh,
you know me. I can't have ice cream.
you and my wife.
Yeah, no, we can't have ice cream.
Why not?
Oh, you don't want to know.
I'd be like, you be sitting in this chair right now if I had ice cream on Saturday. You be sitting here, you be having to be like me and all this, watch outs and all your catchphrases. You got it coined pretty well, but you would have to put it to the test. No, but they ended up getting lemon Oreo ice cream on a waffle cone. It actually had Oreos in it. They had ground up Oreos in the lemon ice cream. They had. I mean, I think it's not soft serve. What is the opposite? It's hard, whatever. I don't know.
Hard ice cream.
Yeah. It was. I mean, the girl that scooped it, she went elbows deep in that thing.
Oh dang. Yeah, that's really the only place I ever get soft serve from is DQ. I don't like soft serve.
Yeah,
in general.
I don't even remember anything.
So you don't remember anything?
I haven't been able to eat ice cream since I was like a teenager. So it's a long time ago.
That's a very long time.
I like sherbet.
Sherbet is great.
It is great. T hates sherbet though.
How can you hate sherbet?
She hates everything. You know this.
Well, that's very true.
Thank you.
That is very true. I don't think there's much that she doesn't hate.
No,
like, that's right.
No, she hates everything.
Yeah. So, June, you said you had some stuff you heard or whatever it was.
Yeah, I did. So I'm very aware that you guys know that Travis Hunter is playing both positions, right?
Mm-hmm.
He plays wide receiver, he plays DB.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is that people, as far as players, like Devontae Adams and a few other people who are NFL experts really think that Travis Hunter is not in a good position to play both. They feel like he should only play one position.
Okay.
Mhm.
So my beef is with that is if you are eligible to play both sides, if you've done that your whole entire career of playing football, high school, college, and now you're in the big leagues,
Mm-hmm.
there should be no reason why a football player should not be able to play both sides. I'm not saying that that everybody got to do it, but if you have the talent to play both, and you've been doing it for your whole life, then we should give him a shot to play both.
Well, I think they argue. I think this is what's happening. When he first came out, he said, "I'm not going to a team that won't let me play both sides." So
you don't have any control over that,
right. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's that Deion factor. He
Yeah.
had them thinking they could do whatever.
Yeah.
But so he goes to. I wasn't even swimming in 1951 either, Roy. Neither was my mom. Nobody was. But no. Yeah. I mean, if you think about what he did on the game the other day, they're probably letting him know you're not cut out to do both things. That's the way I'm looking at what they did to him on Saturday. Because he had two really bad reps that made articles all over the place, and one where he got stiff armed into the oblivion, and the other one where he just missed a tackle. And I think he's still a work in progress on one side. He's cocky enough to think he can do it, but you don't play against Marvin Harrison and then have to go up against Patrick Surtain, we'll say.
Mm-hmm.
You don't do that in Colorado. You don't do that in the Pac-12. You do that only in the league, and it's not going to happen. It's not going to end good for you at all because these guys. He's not a big guy. You're not talking about tight end and defensive end or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about two positions that have a big demand on your body, and he's just not a big man.
Right. The other part of this too is the Jaguars need complete buy-in from him, and what I mean by that is, and this is part of it. Nate Oliver says it's about injury exposure, and you got to think about this from the team's perspective. Well, you don't have to think about it from this perspective, but if you think about it from that perspective, you would understand a team is investing millions of dollars in this player, right? That's like I say to you, Junie, I want you to go and what's hard that you do now, like cutting the grass, because we have a lot of grass, a ton of grass, right? And I'm going to ask you to do that with a push mower with no, forward pulling mechanism. You just straight pushing the lawnmower. And I want you to do that at high noon when the sun is at its highest point in 92-degree weather with 80% humidity.
And then go water it.
And then after that, after you finish cutting the grass, I want you to edge everything. I want you to then after that, then you got to water the grass. So my point in saying all this is I'm asking you to do a lot, right? And in me asking you to do a lot, I'm running the risk that you're going to get dehydrated being out in that heat and that humidity for as long as it takes to do all that stuff, right? So the equivalent of that is asking what's the kid's name again? Asking Hunter to go out and play at NFL speed and put his body on the line at receiver, getting hit, and then after that, go out and play corner and have to tackle tight ends and running backs and guys that are trying to push through you at the NFL level, at NFL speed, with a body that is right now college level.
Yeah.
Right? Because, and I'll give you a prime example. Keon Coleman, when he first came into the league, 6'3", 215. Okay, cool. He's a bigger receiver as compared to other college receivers coming in, and a lot of receivers in the NFL, right? But that wasn't his NFL body. This year is his NFL body. He's 10 pounds heavier, right? And he looks bigger. He moves better. He's more fluid in his movement, so to speak, right? So I'm saying all that to say, I think Hunter being in a position to play both wide receiver and corner is not only not good for his health, but it's not good for him getting another contract, because the more wear and tear you put on your body, the more risk an NFL team is going to see in investing more money into you.
Oh yeah, because you think about what they're talking about with Derrick Henry's and Saquon's. What is the tread on the tire? This man's doubling up every game. You know, if you're talking your offense and defense, you're doubling up, and the push pull, the cantilever effect of playing defensive schemes and defensive techniques, and then going on offense, has got to put wear and tear on your Achilles and wear and tear on your knees, wear and tear on all that stuff. So you're more susceptible to getting a long-term injury when you do that kind of stuff, and at that level.
Yeah. You said you had a question about Shedeur too?
Yeah, just because I took a sneak peek but I seen Shedeur play his game. I forgot who they were playing, but I remember after his performance, he rated himself a C-. Like that attitude is what most players should have, not just be all like cocky and be all big and tough when it comes to a performance you have during the game. And it's the same thing as how basketball is like, you just gotta have that attitude when you come in. You gotta be honest about it, because
you gotta be hungry.
Because with Shedeur, like we all expected him to be what one of the top best QBs in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And then he falls to what number?
Fifth round pick. Yeah.
5th round pick, right? And then Shiloh goes into what?
Undrafted.
Yeah.
He goes undrafted to the Buccaneers right now. When I look at Shedeur's situation, it kind of reminds me how LeBron's son Bronny was, and like they both fit in the same picture. And then in practice, his practice wasn't good, but when he knew his time was coming, when he got on that field and played his first NFL debut, and he showed out. Yeah. So I just advise people that like all the analysts just try to give Shedeur a break now, because this is his first time, not playing for his father no more, because Dion is not his head coach, nor is Shiloh, because they both want to get away from Dion, because they wanted to have a chance to rise on their own.
Yeah, actually, I saw a video. It kind of hurt my heart as a dad. It was Shiloh. It was about the jersey. He was going to give his dad the jersey. His. I was going to send it to you guys, but I just forgot. And they asked him about it. He said he ain't want it. He ain't want it. He said, I got to get 3 interceptions, this, that, and third in order to get my jersey. I'm like, the redheaded stepchild, which was Shiloh.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've seen him get kicking the kids over and over and over again. Supposedly they don't. Every time he laughs and smiles, you can see the hurt. It seems like he knows he's not the favorite. He knows Shedeur is the one, and they said, so why didn't he want? He just laughed out. He was drinking the white. He said he. I'm like, that's not cool, man. Because Ken play healthy Buffalo. If he give me his little jersey, I know it's not the same, but it's the same concept. You're supposed to be instilling confidence. I got your back. I'm proud of you, because you went from where'd he go? He went to South Carolina. Then you came down with me to Jackson State. Now you're in Colorado. Didn't get drafted. You saw the video where he was sitting in the room by himself when he got the call him going to Tampa Bay. All he wants to do is just it's like over and over again. Just love the kid. I don't know what your relationship really is, but it's like, I can see it in his face. Something ain't right. And it hurts me as a dad that my kid ever looks at me like that, because it's not going to happen.
Right.
But I mean, it's like, yo, you're 60 years old. Your health is failing. You don't know how long you got with your kids. And you don't want the last time you interact with your kids to be, I ain't want his jersey because he ain't doing enough.
Didn't he just beat cancer or something like that?
He had his bladder taken out because of the cancers. Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, you got to stop being prime and be a dad at some point. And that hurts me. That hurts me because, like I said, he's so used to it, it doesn't affect him anymore.
Yeah. I totally agree with that, and that's actually where I was about to go. Is when you reach that level in any atmosphere where you're admired, you're praised, you're highly respected, it's tough to dial that back. You know what I'm saying? Because people expect that out of you, and if you show anything else, they're going to think something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And I think who Prime is behind closed doors as a father to them is very different from how he is in public. And even that for Shedeur and Shiloh must have been very tough, because they had to learn to understand that dad is going to be two different people in two different situations.
Right.
And I think when you bring that into the conversation, there's a level of mental toughness that has to come with that we have to respect Shiloh and Shedeur for handling all through their football careers to this point now where they've made the NFL. I think when you look at where they've been positioned, did they get a lot of help from their dad? Yeah, in terms of exposure, right? They were already good players. They just didn't have the exposure. It's like us. Like, we just don't have the exposure. We're good, but we don't have the exposure, right?
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. We're good, damn it. Okay.
Right, I mean, just in with humility, I think we're pretty good. But anyway, the fact that really all they needed was exposure, and then that's what got them noticed by scouts enough to get considered to play in the NFL, and then one of them got drafted, the other one got signed. Like, think of how many other players didn't get that. Right? Some people might say it's because of Prime. Some people might say it's because of the exposure. However you want to put it, they still made it to the NFL, and they still have to make these teams, right? And I guess the aspect of this that I do appreciate is that they're good enough to make a team. And if they do, it's going to be on their own merit. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no help for them right now. There is no influence. There is no nothing. It's you are either going to sink or swim, right? And I think what Shedeur showed, and thank you for that, Junie, because I had the same sentiment when I was watching Shedeur. I'm like, people talking stuff about him, but he looks good. You know what I'm saying? Did he miss it? Did he miss a throw? Did he, was he not perfect, throughout his play? Sure. I'm sure he would say that. And I think the C+ is warranted. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I got one thing I want to say to that too, because right after the reporter kind of like interviewed him right after the game, he initially said, and this is ownership right here, in parts of how you do during your game, because he initially said that I give myself a C- because I felt like I've done my best, but I feel like there were parts of the game that I could have done, and where the ball should have been thrown, and there were many other possibilities that I could have did, but I didn't do it. So I'm just gonna take the time to learn and get better, so when the time comes again, I won't make those mistakes like I did in the beginning of the game. That's ownership.
Yeah, I think for saying he's a C-, we have to see what he does this week. He did everything that he did in college on what was it, Friday, Thursday, whatever it was. So I wasn't surprised by the way he played, because we've seen him do that kind of thing before. It's just does he progress? It's when the liabilities fly. How does he handle a full game with adjustments at halftime? Those kind of things are what we got to sit back and watch, because he had 2 touchdowns, 100-something yards, 120 yards, or whatever it was, and 60%. I think he threw 60%. So
I mean, he did better than Cam Ward, though.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's I'll say why I'm hesitant on that in a minute. That's gonna come when we talk about our game. But,
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's jump into that, because we got folks in the chat waiting to hear about that.
Yeah. Who was that? Woo. No. Now we're gonna talk about somebody else. I don't know who yet, but we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna talk about somebody else.
Anything else? Matter of fact, Tommy said something here. What did Tommy say? Tommy said when when you get time, look at the story of Todd Marinovich and how his dad, Marv Marinovich, meticulously trained him from a young age, aiming to create a perfect quarterback. Okay.
Yeah. No, and yeah, to hop into the synopsis of the game. As always, I don't know what the thumbnail is, so maybe that has something to do with the game itself. Or
yeah. So all right. So we got enough people in here. So the thumbnail is based on what I saw in that preseason game. I think that Sean thinks that his plan is going well. Right. First and foremost, from my perspective, Trey White did not get torched.
Not at all.
Like
not at all.
Anybody who's saying that Trey White got torched, you're not paying attention.
He got beat on 2 plays.
And here's the thing: I don't even look at it as getting beat per se, because he's playing bail, like you said,
yeah,
right. And the idea of playing bail in this defense is to just not get beat like Dane Jackson got beat.
Yeah, you have to look at the play I'm talking about, the Wan'Dale Robinson play where he had to come back and Trey was Trey was in too much of a back pedal.
Yeah, he already turned his hips at that point.
He can recover. So that one was on him.
Yep.
But the one people were talking about that he can't tackle with is, I'm like, it was a tight end, 260 pounds. Right. One of them, and then the other one was 230-pound wide receiver.
And he tried to punch the ball out. He wasn't trying to tackle him because there was already another Bill there tackling.
Right. I was like, I mean, people will say what they want to say, and I get it. He gave up 5 receptions for what was it, 37 yards, something like that, average 8.7 a reception. But in the concept of what they were trying to do, they play 85% zone.
Yep.
They played 15% man, and when they played man, I don't know if you noticed those reps, he was playing press, and he was sticking with his guy, and he's not a man guy.
Exactly.
So I mean, let's pump the brakes here on that.
Yeah.
You know how I was about Trey White. I was tired of hearing no, but when I saw, I was like, the first thing I said was, actually, it's good to see Trey Hill back on the field.
Yeah.
Something about watching Trey, and I shouldn't say this because it flies in the face, but Trey White kind of reminded me of Buffalo. It kind of did. Like when you see him on the field, it's like, that's Buffalo right there. I don't know why, but it just seemed like he belonged. He had to be here. And I know people are probably going to throw shade, this, that, and third, but does he have to play? Does he have to start every game? No. Mm-hmm. But we could do a whole lot worse than Trey White.
Do you think it has a lot to do with what Trey has been through in the last 3 years? Injuries, leaving the team, getting cut?
No, I chalked that to the game. Okay. Injuries happen, so I didn't give him any grace for that. I think what it just seemed like, after last year of him not belonging anywhere else and failing in LA and then going to the Ravens was afterthought. Come back to Buffalo, now you're a starter and you actually made plays. Mm-hmm. I like where it's going. And you got to remember, people talk about, it was a vanilla defense, and that's what we run.
Right.
We right. Matter of fact, you want to know what's funny about this? And this is, I'm going to go all over the place. I always do. You guys never saw this before, but it doesn't matter. We blitzed 14 times on Saturday, right?
Okay.
Top 5 in for the weekend. Top 5.
Wow.
We're the only one that didn't have a sack. We were like number 2 or number 3. We're the only team that did not have a sack. I have the stats on that too. Detroit, the Ravens, we did not get it was like, I mean, okay, go to your point, because I was gonna just commandeer the whole thing.
It's cool. I guess at the end of the day, I'm watching the game and I'm thinking Sean really thinks that his plan is going everything that happened is going according to plan. The 2 defensive tackles that he drafted to create pass rush up the middle created pass rush up the middle, right? And we can qualify that or not qualify that by saying it's preseason, or we can say F that. It's NFL competition, and these rookies that never played in an NFL game before that, and they beat the guys across from them, and that's all you should have to do in the NFL is beat the guy across from you, and they did that, right? So you can qualify it either way you want, but at the end of the day, Sean is watching his 2 defensive tackles get great rush. He's watching his corner / safety make plays all over the field. He's watching his what else did he draft? Or no, I'm sorry, I'm not looking at that. He's looking at Trey White come back and look as good as he has in training camp. He's looking at Dalton Kincaid, who had a nice catch in that game and a very strong play and looked like he developed a lot more, physical strength to be able to take hits and still make moves after contact.
Oh, but wait, where'd he catch the ball? Put it in my notes. Intermediate.
Yeah.
Looked like a tight end, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Caught the ball, made a move, bounced off somebody.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Where have we heard this before? Wow.
Right. Yep. Completely mind blowing.
Yeah.
But here's where I think the deception is, right? Because for as much as we should praise the picks and praise the production that they put on the field, and as much as we should hope that they become the young athletic up and budding stars that we hope they are based on their physical talent and their ability, I think the deception is you watch this game and the offense scored 6 touchdowns, yet they still lost, right? And you just said that this defense is a vanilla defense. Yet they blitzed 15 times, right? 14. They blitzed 14 times, didn't get home, scored 6 touchdowns, and still lost the game. I don't know how many teams do this in the NFL, but a team that scores 6 touchdowns is usually supposed to win the game. Unless your defense, let's back that up. Your defense gives up more than 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Or more points than what six touchdowns would be. They won by 9 points. And I think that's I'm not hearing anybody talk about that. When it comes to that, I'm hearing preseason pledge. It was preseason, right?
Damn it, I was going to say it too. Okay.
Nobody talks about preseason for our offense and scoring 6 touchdowns, and never mind the fact that the Giants have one of the worst secondaries in the NFL right now. Never mind any of that. We score 6 touchdowns, offense look great. Who's talking about the defense? Like, as great as the pass rush was up the middle, as much work as Walker and TJ Sanders looked pretty damn good, by the way.
I made the weirdest face you'll ever see when you said the offense was great, but we'll talk about that later.
Well, I'm saying that facetiously, right?
Well, yeah.
but to me, and again, this is being objective, both sides, because like I said, you can make a case for both sides. What I don't hear people saying, though, is the case being made for the other side, which is we might be in trouble without Josh Allen. If anything ever happened to Josh Allen, we're not walking into another NFL team's stadium and going up against their starters with Mike White, Mitch Trubisky, and Shane Buechele and putting up 6 touchdowns.
Record scratch again for me one time. I'm glad you said that because I like to add one person to that mix.
Who's that?
Offensive line, huh? You said Josh Allen. There's one other person.
Yeah.
Number 4. He was up there with a skull cap and some stunner shades.
That's right.
Now, this is the point. I want to make this one time only. Did you see the offensive line on Saturday? Did you see Trubisky look like Josh Allen getting crumbled like Mike White out there?
Yeah.
Did you see the plays he was making with the defense on his face? And we want to call him a garbage against the ones. But this is the thing.
That's true.
Why is it that our guy that everybody thinks can be the number 1 guy when James Cook going, Mr. Ray Davis, couldn't get off?
Couldn't do anything.
Guess what they ran? They ran zone rushing schemes. You know what that takes? Vision. It takes moving. And that was our number 1 line, except for Spencer Brown. Torrance played. McGovern played. Dave Edwards played. Dawkins played. Dawkins over there. What was that? Abdul Carter made you look crazy out there.
Yeah.
Made you look crazy. Made Osiris Torrance look crazy out there. At this point in time, and you're looking at, and we're talking about a guy who did not get bailed out a couple of times by some drops and some things that happened for him. But on top of that, defenses don't have to worry about a rushing game because we don't have a guy that can run behind a zone blocking scheme.
Right. Aside from Cook.
Ty Johnson didn't see one zone blocking scheme. He was all gap. Ray Davis, he only got on. And let's talk about Ty Johnson. You know how many yards he had after contact?
How many?
18 of his 26 yards came after contact. 6 yards a carry after contact, which means he made it happen himself.
Yep.
But we're talking about this offensive line made James Cook. Why didn't they make Ray Davis?
In a preseason game too.
In a preseason, why didn't they make Ty Johnson?
Yeah.
Why did Trubisky almost have to up Chuck? Why was he getting killed out there against behind this line? That's so impenetrable. I don't want to hear about this line. Yeah. Josh Allen, James Cook make that line better than it really is.
If people really know football, there's an argument to be made that they went up against quite possibly a top 3 defensive line in the NFL right now.
I thought we were a top 5 offensive line.
Exactly. That's where I was going after that, because as much as for anybody who's going to point out, oh, well, that's the Giants defensive line and they're this and they're that. Well, okay, hold on. Everybody's sitting there saying how top 5 this offensive line is. And I think you and I have been the only people in Buffalo. And I've gone on. I think I was on Tommy's show when I first met Tommy, and I was saying this stuff. Like, the offensive line is not as great as you think it is. Right. Cook makes the line look good because he's ducking and getting away from contact or averting contact because of his vision. Josh Allen is not getting sacked because he's getting away from guys on his own. So the rating of the offensive line is based on 2 guys who are huge playmakers in the NFL right now, and who happen to be the only playmakers on this team. So, and Nate, to your point, that I don't think I missed that. I understand that everybody knows that without Josh, this team would be trash. But I think I don't think that's looked at from this perspective. When the Bills are going into the draft or into free agency, they aren't looking at the team that way. They aren't thinking this team isn't anything without Josh. If you look at the way that they draft, they think we're just going to run our program and everything is going to be fine. Right? Now, when it comes to their approach to Josh, they don't want him to get hurt. No franchise wants their starter to get hurt.
And
right?
That's the same thing with James Cook. They were like, he's not going to play. Like, why would he?
Exactly. But past all of that, if you knew in your mindset that, Josh Allen is that dude, we would not be doing any of the stuff that we're doing now if it wasn't for Josh, then I think your mentality would be leaning a little more towards whatever Josh wants, Josh gets. And that is not the case. It is not the case that whatever Josh wants, Josh gets. Josh didn't want Diggs gone. I don't care what anybody says. We know. Right. Yeah. You and I know, right? Because we've been told Josh did not want Diggs gone. So and that's just one example. I can point to more, but the bottom line here is this team approaches itself around Josh Allen as if Josh Allen is just one of the players, not the face of the NFL. They expect of him to come in and show that he's just another one of the guys. Right? Which means if he was to ever vouch for James Cook to get paid, which he won't do, the Bills would probably frown on that. Now, if Josh ever did that publicly, the team is forced to do that because everybody in the NFL knows you do what your quarterback asks you to do if he's that level of guy, right? So that's the perspective that I don't think that people are looking at this from is what's the team's approach to Josh's value to the team, right? Because they talk about, we don't want him getting hurt. We don't, but what are you putting around him to make sure that doesn't happen? How easy are you making his job? Or are you putting everything on his shoulders and putting him in a position to feel like he's got to put everything on his shoulders, which is what I think they've done. So,
now, Derek said you're wrong. They're a good running line. What did they do to be more last year? Which game? You guys are wrong. Which game? I mean,
he's probably, I mean, if you're talking about the playoff game, that was one half of football. They got shut down in the second half, right? And for as good as that offensive line is supposed to be, listen, the Eagles went against the number 2 defense in the NFL last year, in the Super Bowl last year. Right? And the number 2 defense in the league only slowed down the run game because the Eagles weren't trying to force the run down their throats. They were trying to set up the passes that they got. It's called game planning.
I mean, if you're talking about divisional round, then I think we were averaging like 4.1 yards a carry. We ran the ball with 30 sometimes with Josh Allen, James Cook, Ray Davis, Ty Johnson. I would have to look up further what they actually did. I mean, yards of the contact wasn't that great, but I'm not sure where they dominated in the run game. But I mean, we might have different takes on it, because what I'm looking at is still what we said. Josh Allen and James Cook make the line better than they are. I didn't say they were. I mean, I don't really know where we said they were hot garbage, but let's not prop them up and use them as a bargaining piece against trying to sign a running back. Let's not do that, because we saw what happened when James Cook is not running behind that offensive line.
Yep.
You know, there was one game everybody refers to, the Jets game, where James Cook didn't play and Ray Davis quasi went off. But what people don't realize is they're not the mean green that they used to be. They were a bad defense last year. So that was a blessing in disguise. It was a confidence boost for Ray Davis to play against the mean green machine last year.
Yep.
So I mean, let's not diminish. And that's why I said I always say it every time we do this. I want to take the pregame, the preseason players, because it's not about wins and losses. It's about the growth that we saw out there. It's not about the W. It's not about, that's really, for me, it's not even about the points. It's about where did we get better? Where did we change? And I mean, you're looking at the quarterback competition. It was a hell of a day for both of them. Actually, all three of them. I mean, they were over 70% as a trio. We had 3 touchdowns passing between them all, no interceptions. I mean, they played well. Trubisky got folded. Mike White was probably looking at him like, ooh, that's gonna hurt him, because he remembers when Milano did that to him. But you know, Trubisky even said something. I forget what he said. If I want to be the backup on this team, I can't be afraid. Some to that effect is what he said. And so we saw it out there. You know, he went out there and made plays. Now, is he ever going to threaten to be a starter? No. But you know what I saw on Saturday makes me feel like, all right, we won't lose as bad if Josh gets hurt. We have to see Josh run out of a tent with his shoulder in a sling because he can't trust his backup. We don't have to worry about that. So, I mean, what I saw was good momentum. I didn't see enough out of Mike White to say, yeah, he usurped Trubisky and now he's the number 2. But it's a good competition.
Derek, I need you to calm down, bro. He says Eagles got 2 guys to open up the run game for a team that doesn't have a deep threat. Everyone knew we were going to run. Okay, I understand your point about everybody knew we were going to run. I mean, that was one of the Bills' strengths last year that they focused in on. Cool. But you're talking about an Eagles team that has had the best offensive line in football for about 3 years now. And probably longer than that, because they've invested continually in offensive line, and they've had really good players on their offensive line, including Jason Peters, who used to be here. So we can't look at the Eagles offensive line and say they got 2 guys. No, they have 5 that can all win whenever they need to win, right? So when I'm looking at an offensive line, I'm thinking about how many guys do they have that can win consistently one-on-one, right? When you look at the pass rushers that the Eagles deal with, last year in the Super Bowl, it was Chris Jones. Chris Jones didn't do anything. He did not a thing, right? And the guard center guard combination of the Eagles is one of the best in the NFL, if not the best. And the bookend tackles that they have are the best in the NFL. So, I mean both of them. There's no team in the NFL that has better, that has both better than the Eagles, right? And when you're looking at that, and you look at their performance against the best players in the NFL, the best defensive lines and all that kind of stuff, you just look at the Giants and what they've invested in defensive line. You do that because you understand their offensive line is so good. I got to build a defensive line to compete with that just to get pressure on the quarterback. And we saw what that looked like in the preseason game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Foo, don't worry. I got a lot of positives too. A lot of positives.
So this is
trust me.
Right. This is what I wanted to bring all of this back to. Within my comment on what Derek said, I think what's really getting missed in all this, and I think what we tend to give credit to the offensive line for that really should go to this guy is freaking Joe Brady, dude. Like, we're talking about an offensive line that's getting rated as top 5.
Mhm.
And if you're really paying attention, you can see that the offensive line may not be top 5, maybe top 10 in the NFL. But I wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? Based on the stats that these websites are giving them, their top 5. Okay, fine. But there's factors that go into that really have nothing to do with the offensive line. And so when you look past all that and you say, man, Joe Brady got 6 touchdowns out of Mitch Trubisky and Mike White, and Shane Buechele.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
with the offensive line that they have, the backups they have, these receivers that are not deep threats, these tight ends that other people are saying are not doing anything. Like, he got 6 touchdowns out of this offense in a game against that defensive line. In a game against, you get what I'm saying? Like, and I get it's preseason, but I looked at that and I'm like, this dude goes to another team as a head coach. That's another team you got to worry about, because he knows what the hell he's doing on offense, man. And if he's learned enough from the guys that he's been around, Sean Payton and Matt Rule and Sean McDermott, if he's learned enough about the do's and don'ts of how to run an NFL team, he's definitely the next up and coming guy.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much my biggest takeaway from that preseason game.
I mean, I really enjoy. I learned a lot from it. I watched it 3 times, and I didn't get a chance to watch all 22 because it's not out for some stupid reason. But so a lot of stuff I kind of had to surmise my own opinions, but it may or may not be right on some of the things. But I do know what I've said so far is not too far off base. I know I was going to hit a nerve with the offensive line, because people love the offensive line, especially when it comes to James Cook. But when it's Josh Allen makes the line, which I don't understand which one is right. Is it the line or is it the guys that are? I didn't say they're not good. That's not what that's never going to come out of my mouth. Not good is never going to come out of my mouth. What I'm saying is they didn't make James Cook. James Cook didn't make them. They didn't make Josh. Josh didn't make them. It's they work together. And for people to say James Cook is good because Josh Allen's there, Josh Allen is also good because James Cook's there.
Exactly.
You know, so it's this symbiotic thing that people. This is the breakdown I've been trying to make, and I'm almost there. The levels of fandom. You know, what are you a fan of? Are you a fan of a player, a team, this, that, and I'm getting it. You know, you love Josh. I get it. You love Josh, but Josh will tell you it ain't me by myself, and that's the one thing that he says is true. He knows it's not him. He can't throw the ball to himself. He can't hand the ball to himself. People might want to say he can, and then Bean's like, "Ha, we got him again." No. Josh knows how to use what he has, and it's working for him.
Right.
The team as a whole. This is another thing that gets me when people say, you know, in another system, James Cook, Josh Allen, Khalil Shakir, blah blah blah, they wouldn't be as good. Not Josh Allen, but you know, you get my point. But who cares about other systems? It's our system we're worried about. And as you just said, the offense is working. Who's going to the Pro Bowl? Who played yesterday or Saturday? Who's going to the Pro Bowl? Deion Dawkins.
Yeah.
But they still look like an NFL offense, didn't it? An NFL quality offense.
I mean, I don't care how vanilla it is. You can't get tore up by a rookie like that.
I know.
You cannot get tore up by a rookie like that, bro. Like, that's what the way they was talking about Trey White. Like, that's how they should be talking about Deion. Like, in all seriousness, if we really paying attention, like, why is nobody talking about this?
You couldn't get a hand on him.
Right.
You couldn't get a hand on him. And that's the thing, you know, people. That's the kind of player that the Bills think they have when because we rush 4. They don't really do anything exotic. They rush 4. But you see, Abdul Carter won by himself. He didn't twist. He didn't stunt. He just mano a mano beat him off the line.
Yep.
And that's the thing these Penn State guys do. It's weird because Penn State, they're known to be slow off the line in Penn State because they want them to. But all these dudes are freak athletes. I don't understand what James Franklin's doing. You got all these 4-4 guys in your defensive line. You want to be slow? Oh, right. God. So now I'm going to pay attention to their defensive line. Give me that slow guy because he's not so when he gets to the league. And I don't know if you saw the picture I showed you of Mike Green, of his bend.
Yeah.
My man's ankle was like snapped in half.
Yeah. And that was the opposite. That was the inside ankle.
Inside
too.
ankle.
Yeah.
I mean, he was leaning at a right isosceles angle.
He said right isosceles. Yo. It's like, hold on. What kind of angle? I need to look this up. What kind of angle is that?
What kind of angle was that? The right isosceles.
The angle of the ankle.
That, I mean, but that's the, see, when people say, what do you mean bend? That's what I'm talking about. That's what a pass rushing trait. That kind of bend, it's uncanny. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Daquan says, I must be silly, but Josh did go 13-3 before Cook was drafted.
Yeah, he did it with Stephon Diggs too.
True. He had a playmaker.
Right.
Just one.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Look.
Spin. Yes, I do. I do, Spin. I beat you there. I do. He's going to the Hall of Fame. First ballot. With Motor Singletary. Double down. Yes. Double down. Tommy, I got you too. Mafia Sports Report. Check him out. But I still got you though.
Yeah. Daquan, you think you're funny, man. You said, I guess it was the threat of Cook being drafted 2 years later. Maybe.
That was.
Maybe.
The ghost of Cook.
Right.
It was the essence. He had his aura.
Yep. The young boy coming. We got to get Diggs out of here before Cook.
Get him out. You can't have two of them.
Right. You can't. I was just going to say that. We can't have Cook and Diggs on the same team at the same time. That's too much talent. That's too much. We might have to pay those guys. Oh, here comes Tommy. What you say, Keys?
I say he's going to the Hall of Fame too. That's all I said. Take it how you want. Take it how you want. I didn't say that.
Oh, Lindsay, where you been at? What's going on, homie? Said, wouldn't it be nice if sports anchors said they reached the championship because of the Bills' defense? That's what I want to hear. Look, I've been wanting that since day. I'll put it like this. I was so upset that we didn't get Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay that when we got Sean McDermott and I heard about his defensive prowess and all that kind of, and I did the history on him, and he went back to Andy Reid's days in Philly and he trained under Joe Johnson. I'm like, ooh, I like Joe Johnson's defense. He got a nice zone blitz defense, and I like his scheme. Like I got excited at that point because okay, we've kind of always been a defensive focused team whenever we've had success, right? Mm-hmm. So cool. We got a defensive guru. We got a pretty damn good defense. He's going to take the guys that Rex Ryan was messing up last year, put them all back into the right position, and we're going to have a dominant defense like we had in 2003, right? And I looked at what was happening, and I'm like, okay, this is a defensive guy. Like, where's the stalwart defense? Where's the Ravens level defense? Like this you hire a head coach like this as a defensive guy because he's going to make the defense elite. Every other defensive guy that I saw get hired made the defense elite. Like
we're still waiting.
Right. The guy that got hired in Tampa Bay. What's his name?
Bowles.
Yeah, Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles gets hired in friggin' Tampa Bay, and the defense is instantly good the next season. What are they missing? Oh, they're missing a quarterback. All right, let's go get Tom Brady. Right. They get to the NFL. The defense rips Mahomes to shreds. Yeah. They ripped the whole defense to shreds. Todd Bowles' defense. Mm-hmm. That's what I was expecting, but we didn't get that. We got a program.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know. You know all these people and where they're from and what they do, and I just knew. I was like, I don't know this guy. That's why I don't want him. You're like, nah, because I'm like, okay, cool. But then we get to know him, and we see when he traded Sammy Watkins away, when he got rid of Nigel Bradham and Ryan Darby and all those guys. I'm like, what are we doing here? It's a rebuilding year, but we go to the playoffs. Wait a minute, is this guy good? Oh, we drafted a quarterback. Okay, now we got a linebacker now, a long rangy guy. Okay, cool. What do we do? Okay, and we don't make the play. Fine, that's cool. We got these hobbits. We got to figure out the offense, get the cap together, all this stuff, and then the first 5 years we're like, okay, we got patience. We see little things growing. We're like, yes. But now we're still seeing things try to be worked out. Like I don't really have an appetite for it. I mean, when we did this, I just became a father. I just become a father. And now, I got a little dude ask me for Robux. Right. I ain't got that much time to wait. So Marv Levy's 100. So it's like, okay, now I want to make a move and shake. So no, it's really not as easy as saying just get rid of somebody and bring somebody else. Because somebody said bring Dan Campbell in. Okay, I like the fire.
Yeah,
I like the fire.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's only one guy that I would bring in here that's out there now to become a head coach that is, to me, a better option than Joe Brady, and this is going to be a shocker.
Mm-hmm.
I'll send you both. Yeah, that wouldn't be good for them. That wouldn't be good for them because we would just about take every show off of that joint with us. So if you said to me that I could get Jim Schwartz in here today to run this team, he's currently the defensive coordinator of the Browns. If you told me that I could get that guy in here today to be my head coach, sign me up. Sign me up. Joe Brady, love you. You can go do whatever you got to do.
Right.
That is the one defensive-minded head coach that I would take over any offensive mind right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that defense is fun to watch. It wasn't too hard to run, and he had the wide nine talent, but it just worked. Mario Williams was happy. Jerry Hughes was doing this thing. Marcel Darius and Kyle Williams. Yeah, Roy. I said Kyle Williams. I did.
As you should.
I should. And it worked. You know, and this just isn't like iteration after iteration. But to go to the positives of the defensive line, there was a lot of positives in the defensive line once you strip back the starters.
Yeah.
Joey Bosa did nothing for me. People said he was great. I didn't see a thing from him.
Nope.
I mean, he had one tackle for a loss. He didn't get a pressure. He didn't even really mount a threat. To me, I was like, is that Epinesa or is that Bosa? I don't know which one that is. It's the same guy to me.
Right. Right. Might as well be.
Ed Oliver was he had a rep where he like just pretty much put his helmet and his hands in the dude's chest and just pushed him into the quarterback. Good job. Daquan Jones, good job. The rookies, what I didn't see from them was presence in the run game. So we got to look at that going forward, whether or not they're going to be present in the run game. And that's kind of skewed because there's only 4 running snaps when they got him because they were throwing the ball over the place.
Yeah.
So we need to see them playing against a run game. And no, that's not a slight at whoever was the running back at the time. It's just they didn't want to run. They had Jameis Winston back there throwing the ball. Yeah. But I saw TJ Sanders on the interception that wasn't excellent move. He wiped clean, got to the quarterback, and Hancock intercepted the ball, called back on Landon Jackson's offsides. Landon Jackson, we'll talk about him. I think he was a deer in headlights. I think for him,
it looked like
the moment was too big.
Yeah.
But you got to give because he had a rep. He had a speed rush rep where he took off. I mean, he took off and did some kind of like hop step kind of move and got to the outside shoulder right away. The ball was out, but it was a good move. It could have been a hold actually. Bosa. Another thing on Bosa was a 3rd and 1 Singletary first down. He played it wrong. Cam Lewis made the stop, but you got to think about it. If you remember the play, Bosa got the inside. He got the outside shoulder to the inside shoulder of the offensive lineman. His responsibility in that play is to 2-gap. You got to condense that C gap. You got to push the tackle into the C gap and make Singletary, I think it was, go out. What happened was he went in and Cam Lewis is going in the same hole. But what he realized is he couldn't get to the running back, so he had to come back around and make the stop, which was after the first down marker. But a veteran defensive lineman knows I got to condense this line and make him go the way I want him to go,
right? Which
he didn't do. So those are things that I noticed, and I would like to look at the all 22 and see what else I can find.
Okay.
When we're talking about what was it, the Hamlin play, not Hamlin play, the touchdown, Dane Jackson touchdown.
Dane Jackson, yeah.
Of course, everybody's going to blame Hamlin for that.
Of course,
they're going to blame him for that. But it wasn't his responsibility at all.
Yeah.
And and there's 2 things that tell me that before even watching all 22. I saw the play. He was kind of cheating over, and he got looked off, so he jumped back over. But 1, he's jogging. When have you ever seen a dude blow his assignment and just jog?
Right.
2, why was Dane Jackson still in pursuit? Why was he still covering the guy?
It was cover 3. You are not supposed to get beat in cover 3.
That was his guy.
Right.
So I mean, it was a bad rep. It happens.
Right.
Well, let's blame Dane. Let's blame DeMar for stuff he does wrong later.
Right. Exactly.
And I want to give him his flowers. This is probably negative because of DeMar Hamlin. I don't care. It's positive. The 3rd down stuff he had on the run, I don't know if you remember it.
Yeah.
He was in the hole and he made the stop.
Yeah.
That was a heads up play. What I want to see, and this is contingent on who starts on Sunday. I want to see DeMar Hamlin and Jordan Hancock together.
Yo, I was just thinking that. Look at you. Yes, bro. Yes.
Look at you. I want to see them together.
That's the perfect combination.
It is.
You keep Hamlin down in the box. That's your run defender.
Yep.
Let him get better at his run angles. That's the only thing. He'll from time to time he'll take one bad angle and it ends up as a big run. But that's your best run defending safety.
It is.
It's not Taylor Rapp. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but get Jordan Hancock on the field as a safety, bro.
He's a safety.
Let that man play safety. Never mind Taron Johnson. You got all these linebackers. You got Andreessen coming up. You got Williams coming up. Why are you going to deny these young guys an opportunity to get on the field? For what? Yeah. So that Taron Johnson can live in as a freaking legend for the next 2 years? Like, he's getting hurt after every single hit now. You can't keep risking that guy for the sake of the defensive scheme. You can't do it. I'm sorry. And one of the other things that I think gets missed in all this is, okay, great. You can stop the pass in a nickel defense. Guess what? You're going to save money if you play a base 4-3 and you also invest in a nickel corner that's going to come in on third downs. You can do both. And you're going to save money. Why? Because the focus is not going to be on that nickel corner. The focus is not going to be on that strong side linebacker either. Right? So if you're paying both guys, now you can mix and match. Now you can move around. The same way that you want to do that on offense, your defensive approach is, no, we're nickel defense. We don't do anything special. We don't move around. It's not everybody eats on defense. It is specifically these guys. These are the only, seriously, Ed Oliver, Greg Rousseau, Taron Johnson, Christian Benford, and whoever else. Probably Taylor Rapp would be the only other guy. Or I'm sorry, Terrell Bernard. Those are the only guys that eat on defense.
Right.
That's it.
No, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at the comments.
Yeah. Did you see what he said to earn that? Yeah, it was great. But that to me is the problem. You got an offensive philosophy that is really better served being your defensive philosophy, but you don't want to invest in the right guys to fit that philosophy on defense. Yeah. You're taking an offensive approach and making it your defensive approach, which is we want these guys in the game at all times, and we'll put a bunch of pieces around them, and those other pieces we'll mix and match. If we get a guy that sticks, then cool, we'll give him a little bit of money too. That's an offensive philosophy. That's your left tackle, your quarterback, your wide receiver, and then if you can swing it and you find a good one, a running back. Those are usually the four guys that you invest in on offense heavily when you find the right guy, and that's it. Everybody else, you just piecemeal them in.
Yeah. And DeQuan said the Bears want to see that combination Sunday as well. Good. It's preseason.
Yeah.
Guess what? If an epic fail, Hancock, game one was a good game, but now we got to go back to the drawing board. Hamlin, you're not on the. So people that don't like DeMar Hamlin, this might cure it for you. Yeah. This might be it. If he stinks with Hancock against the twos, then guess what? You're not going to be. Maybe Forrest gets the job. Maybe Cam Lewis is safe for sure. Maybe my man Charlo gets a job. Who knows?
Yeah. Roy, you slowly turning into a serious troll here, bro. Says, wait, y'all actually want to see Hamlin play safety? See, this is what I don't want people to get misconstrued. The players that we have, if used correctly, could be very, very dangerous. Yeah. And I think that's the problem, is that we have players that are good if they're used in the way that makes them better than good. Right? If you take Greg Rousseau and you move him around this defensive line, now he's a weapon. If you take Ed Oliver, you move him around on this defensive line, he's a weapon. If you get a one tech next to Ed Oliver, it boosts Ed Oliver's efficacy on the field. If you get a speed rusher opposite Greg Rousseau, you see what I'm saying? Like, you got to do things to accent the guys that you really want to prop up and bring out in your defense. Yeah. You can't just throw guys out there and say, I want my safety to come and play linebacker, and I expect that guy to be an all-pro player.
You mean have an identity?
That's it. That's it.
What podcast am I watching? I saw it
couldn't be this one. We don't talk about that.
We're just negative.
Right. That's all we
do.
How can we
spin that? Yeah. How can we spin that? I don't even know. But
Well, Steve has been doing a great job of that. Actually, I want to get back to the comment he said earlier because it was somebody else said it was the comment of the night, and I agree. He said, shut up. We don't draft dudes who just beat guys one-on-one. We draft character. If the NFL was measured on feel-good humans and Bible verses, we win the chip. Not fair that it's biased on athletic ability. Like, he's being facetious, but that's true. That is so true. When the second I heard Sean McDermott say this program in reference to how he in reference to the team, the franchise, the process, so to speak. The second you say program, first of all, in year one of this podcast, we were saying he's running this like a college team. Mm-hmm. And when you got a head coach in the NFL saying program, that's a college term. That's not an NFL term. Yeah. NFL head coaches are saying this franchise, this team, right? They're not saying this program. That is the problem right there. You got an NFL head coach thinking like a college head coach. And he's trying to run this. See, and here's the other part of that. That term speaks to the mentality. If your NFL head coach is using the word program, which is a college term, usually a program is designed to do what? To win 10 games every season. That's a college program's goal. A college program's goal is not to win a national championship because in actuality, national championships don't do for a college what consistent winning does.
I'll take you a step further. You know why they say the word program? You know why they call it TV programs?
Why?
What does a program do? It makes you think a certain way.
Yeah.
That's what a program is.
Programming.
TV programming. That's what it is. That if you take communication, they tell you that. Yep. It's a way to model and market whatever they want you to think to tailor to their vision.
That's perfect, bro.
That's what it is. Yeah. And so when you said program, it just clicked in my head. I said, makes sense. Right? You got to think why people use a certain terminology they use. He's not a dummy. They're smart. They're smart people. And you know, and we have to really look at this game in totality. People they want to jump on who? We're jumping on Dane Jackson. We know who Dane Jackson is. We're jumping on Trey White. We know who he is. But we're jumping on Landon Jackson. People thumbs down this, that. But guess what? The preseason is when you got to shake the rust off. This is the first time you're playing for money. You're running out of a tunnel with drunk people all over the place, chanting your praises. I've made it. My lifetime goal. I'm on the ground. Everybody was falling down. I don't know why.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, he was offside. This is jitters. Sometimes you got to get that in order to take the next step. So I'm not going to jump on him on the first game. It's not going to happen. Somebody said, what did they say? Oh, they said Singletary had way better vision than Cook. Probably. That was his claim to fame.
Yeah.
His vision. Because when you think about any sport, when I played basketball, I wasn't a high jumper. Could I dunk? Yes. Could I touch mid square? Yes. But by college standards, I was not a jumper. So I knew how to use English off the side of the backboard, how to spin the ball. So you couldn't block my shot, even though you could out jump me. So why do I say this story? This story is because when Singletary knows I don't have any speed, I got to have something else.
Yep.
He made it to the league. It wasn't for his speed. It was for what? His wiggle and his vision.
That's right.
So to say that, and now you got James Cook who ran a 4.4 and has similar vision, you on to something. Yep. But no, yes. Somebody in the show who said it in the comments for last year, like they said Cook has to make more money so we can be on his payroll.
So he can pay us. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's not. Look, I think we were saying the same exact thing for Diggs. We've been. Like, I think the point is the guys that do something for this team have earned the right to be paid by this team. And no disrespect to any of the guys that got the bag this year, but when you really look at their contribution to the team in the times where it counts the most, they aren't the guys that should be getting the bag.
Right.
They're not, right? And that's not to say that they shouldn't get an extension, but it shouldn't be touted as, oh, this is a top 5 guy. Yeah, he should get that contract. Yeah, Greg Rousseau is number 2 in pressures. Yeah, he should get that $20 million contract. Like, we're really looking at And actually, they were talking about this on the morning show this morning. They were talking about how teams are getting to players with extensions earlier so that they can beat the market, the upcoming market value. Teams are looking down the road and they're seeing this position is starting to get paid more and more and more and more. So before this player's value rises to a point where they're gonna exceed the market value and expect more, we're going to get them an extension now so that by the time they hit that stride and they get to that extension, it's NFL average. And guess what that is, ladies and gentlemen? That's called cost control. That is, you're literally controlling a player's salary by doing that. You approach him early. Any NFL player that has any kind of good agent is going to take that deal in year 3. You want to give me an extension now? Give me the money. I'm good. Yeah. Right? The idea for an NFL team is we don't want to get stuck in cap purgatory, right? So we get in there early, we give the extension. But what does that also mean? That also means the team don't really want to have to pay you. Right. They're finding a way to pay you less. That's exactly why I had such a huge issue with people's stomping on Cook's name because he said 15 million. Like, nobody's paying attention to the fact that 15 million is going to be average in 2026 for top 10 running backs. I should add, because that matters, right? The average for running backs outside of the top 10 is like somewhere between 5 and 7 million, right? That's the average for running backs like Ty Johnson, right? Guys like that who are a part of a rotation and have a role on the team, somewhere between 5 and 7 million. That's what they'll make, right? But statistically, and there's no way you can disprove the statistics. Based on what he put on wax, he's a top 10 running back. Right. But again, all of this that I'm saying now goes back to the point of when you're looking at who's really contributing, are you really sticking to a framework that is conducive to making everybody else think that they have to be better? Because if I'm Greg Rousseau and I have not a lot of sacks, what are the other defensive ends on the team going to think when they're not getting sacks? They're going to think, oh, well, I'm getting pressures. I'm in there. I'm good. I'm going to get the bag. I'm straight. Right? You got Trey White. When he got his bag, they said on the morning show this morning, I'll give him credit. They said Trey White, when he got his deal, he was the highest paid DB in the league.
For 2 days.
Right. For 2 days. Right. But at that point, he just came off a season where he had a bunch of interceptions, right? At that point, when they gave him that deal, I'm like, yeah, he balled out the year before. He was getting picks all over the place, right? They even put his animation in the Madden game, diving for interceptions all over the place. Like, he was a monster. So that I understood. But you got Christian Benford coming in here with statistics and no interceptions. Guess what the team is going to think? Oh, I ain't got to pick it off. I just got to be, I just got to
be there.
Right. I just got to be around the area and not get beat deep. That's all I got to do. I ain't got, you know what I mean? You're setting the bar lower and lower and lower every time when it comes to production on the field, but you're raising this character bar of don't get in trouble, always come to work, ready to work, make sure you know your plays and behave like a veteran. Don't ever question authority. When we offer you money, just take it. Don't bet on yourself. All these different things that deal with this category of character. But at the same time, when we're talking about the Bills' expectations according to this character model, there are things that disempower the players at the same time. They disempower the player. Look at where Cook is right now. They were talking about and I thought this was egregious. They were talking about the morning show, and I think Joe was saying it's almost a bad idea if James Cook doesn't take the deal, or it's worse for Cook if the Bills don't sign him before the season starts, because at that point he'll have to play because he's going to want to get paid after this season, and he's got to audition for the next team. And I thought about that. I'm like, how ridiculous is that? Like, he don't have to play. What he put on tape is good enough. You got college players talking about, go look at my tape. I'm not performing in the combine, and they still get drafted.
They want them.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think I think the mindset is wrong when it comes to how we're viewing what this team does. It, like you said, it's programming. It's like they can't see this team doing anything wrong because we're in a division where the Bills have had the only franchise quarterback for years.
Yeah. And Steve, no, I would never trade Rousseau for Cook, Rousseau and Cook for and a first for Parsons. Here's why. Because you just re-signed Rousseau, so next year you're on the hook for
I think they said $27 million,
something like that next year. But that's there's more I think the year after that. So next year it's like $19 million on top of having to clear out whatever Parsons' contract is before re-signing in order to get him on the team. So no.
Or 17. I'm sorry, 17.
Yeah, 17 million for him, and then I think Parsons is. I think that's what brings it to about 30 million, because you have to clear $30 million in cap space in order to even make the trade legal. And this is another instance where it's going to be all dead cap of Rousseau because you just signed them, so that wouldn't make any sense to do it. Yeah, we do need a Parsons. I've been saying that for a while. And don't do that. Who was that? Joey, don't do that. He said Landon Jackson looked like he did in that first practice he showed up at LSU on that field. Yeah, that was almost satire. I thought it was a joke. I thought that was a joke.
Right.
But the funny thing is, I didn't know that was Landon Jackson when I saw it. I saw it before he got drafted. And then I'm like, who's this dude? This is an actor. He's being stupid. Then he's like, yeah, I got better since then. I'm like, you for real?
Right. He was serious.
You were serious? Oh, man. Oh, man.
That's why I didn't want him, because I'm like, yo, you got a college player that's starting off like that, you already in trouble.
I was like, how you can recruit?
Like, that's what I'm saying. How did you even get a job in college, bro? Like, how did you get a scholarship?
I thought he was joking.
They really paid this dude.
They did.
They really paid this dude
to do that.
And the Bills is like,
I want that.
Yeah.
I want that. In 3 years, that's us right there. In 3 years, give me that.
Oh God!
But
help us!
But everything is not doom and gloom, because I did want to say the linebackers as a unit were really good. Keontae Jenkins, anybody heard of him?
No,
didn't think so. But he was the best linebacker in the field. I think on Saturday, 6 tackles, led the team in tackles. He was everywhere you wanted him to be. I was like, who is this 49 guy? I had to go look in the guide. But Keontae Jenkins, Jimmy Charlo, who signed. I didn't know he went to the West Point. So this is what got me. He ran a 4.6. He did 34 on the bench. 34 on the bench for Jimmy Charlo. Yeah.
Wow.
So that tells you why he thumped that dude on that kick return.
Yeah.
He was trying to injure that guy.
Yeah.
But I think Charlo is definitely gonna be that iron sharpens iron guy. He's gonna be somebody that you want to add to the room. And now Andreessen, I'm not saying Charlo's going to take a spot, but he's going to be looking over his shoulder after the performance he had on Saturday. And guess what he did? He played teams. He played those teams. And of course, we have the cornerback room was excellent. I liked what I saw. Pretty much everybody. People said that Lewis was a little off, but I thought he was okay. He played safety.
Cam Lewis.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He played safety for the most part. I thought he got his head in there where he was supposed to. To Corey Couch, the second stanza. I saw Tommy Sewell. He's like, I didn't even know who that guy was. I did. I wanted him last year. But he numbers game. I think he's going to be on outs this year too. But when you have that kind of depth, you got that kind of competition going for a position that is not as up for grabs as you would think, but kind of is when you're talking about the 3rd, 4th, 5th cornerback on the roster. He plays teams as well.
What happened to Forrest? Where's Forrest?
He played. I don't know how many snaps he had, but he had a couple snaps. He got it on special teams.
Oh
yeah. So I that's why I don't know where he's going to stand with this team. I mean, I don't think he's getting a shot.
It seems like he's getting the Mike White treatment in a sense. Like, we just wanted you to come in here and play special teams. We don't actually think you can play safety.
Right. Yeah. I don't. Let me see if I can look at how many snaps he had real fast.
Okay. While you do that, I want to read this comment. Walter says the general group think on the Cook contract and the Bills being reasonable, being the reasonable party is exhausting. For all we know, the Bills can be offering Cook less guaranteed than Kyron got, and that's the hang up. Yeah, I mean, for the sake of objectivity, yeah, we can't continue to assume that the franchise that we love and cheer for is the innocent party in every single situation regarding their interactions with a player.
Mm-hmm.
That to me is nonsensical, just from any perspective.
Right.
To think that one party is just completely infallible and always honest and never trying to get over on somebody, and if they do get over on a player, it's them being smart, like Spin said earlier in the chat there.
Mm-hmm.
That it's about integrity as a whole, and I get that both sides are always trying to get a leg up, but if you have a player that is performing on the field and earning the right to demand a level of respect and pay from the team he plays for, that team should be honorable enough and honest enough to be willing to pay that player. And guess what? If they don't value that player, the best thing they could do is give that player an opportunity to go play somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Trade him.
I want to see. Tommy has been trying to push this, and Tommy knows where I'm going with this. He has this idea for what to do with running back contracts, this and third. And I mean, he wants to shorten it to. I don't want to go too long into it. I'm sure everybody's watching that show as well. But in essence, it's a 3-year contract. And for me, I'm okay with the way it is. But at some point, maybe there should be like a merit that unlocks and says the team option at year 4 going into year 5 for a first rounder can convert to a player option. Mm-hmm. I don't want to be here. I was good here, but I don't want to be here. I want to opt out. I think they should have that right. I think the later rounds, if you're after year 3, you should be able to opt out or have a team option so you can get out and go somewhere else.
Yep.
So I think they need to introduce player options and team options to NFL. That would be
these owners would never.
No, they wouldn't. Well,
no, there's no way. If they're fighting guaranteed money right now, and they're losing that battle because rookies are getting them.
Well, yeah. The way I'm looking at it is if they want to get out of the deal, like it's a team option. So basically, after the 4th year, I'm not doing it. The only way you would get a player option is if the player like exceeded some benchmark, so they were like a Pro Bowler or something like that, and they can say, "I really like it in Buffalo. I want to stay here." Not if they're they're a scrub and they just say.
That's actually not a bad idea. You could build it in where, okay, if you get, this many Pro Bowls or if you get this many All Pros or something like that, you trigger that option.
Yeah. It converts something like that. So it's like, you don't want to hamstring people into a certain contract if they can outplay it, especially, guys like Cook now who I want this, I want that, in this case, they get the escalator they got for this contract, as opposed to giving them more money. Say, you know what, this is our deal. You can opt out. Have a good one.
We'll call our shot now, bro, because I do think that's the evolution past the guaranteed money that the NFL is experiencing right now with these rookie contracts. Yeah. I think part of the reason there's more guaranteed money in the rookie contracts is because teams don't want to have to do that with the free agency contracts that are being handed out, right? A lot of these free agency deals are one year deals to begin with. There's not a lot of multi-year, big time, payout deals in free agency because these players are expecting too much money. So now all that investment and all that guarantee money is going to these rookie contracts, which are cost controlled. I think once you get past that point where every rookie is coming in with guaranteed money, that's going to balloon the rookie contracts. You know what I'm saying? And I think at that point, the only way to kind of mitigate the loss of cost control, because let's be real, the NFL is now trending back towards where it was before the CBA that gave us cost controlled rookie contracts. I think the next level from there is going to be, okay, well, if you take less money, we'll give you an option in the contract based on your performance. If you hit this, and this, you'll have an option. If you want to get out because you don't like our offer, you're free to leave. No fuss, no muss. Right. I don't mind calling that shot here. I think that is the evolution of contracts coming very soon.
It's got to be. They got to do something to get the money back in control.
Yeah.
I think we're not going to go too far into James Cook again. I see the queue up here of Cook, but we're going to talk about other stuff. No, I wanted to talk about the revelation that is Tyrell Shavers again.
I can't, bro. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to open myself up for pain. Because I know that this is going to be painful for me. Like watching Tyrell Shavers, I was saying this last year. I wanted him on the 53, and you were nice enough to let me down easy and tell me that they were not going to do that, and you were right. I hated you for it, but you were right. Shavers, what does he have to do?
Well, McDermott told you, and he has to play teams. Now, okay. So this is where I think my guy has an out. Okay. This is where I think my guy Chenault has an out. He was the best return man in both phases on Saturday. He was better than Codrington, and he had a 17-yard completion, and he had the 2-point conversion. So Shavers, McDermott said out of his mouth, we know what he is. And he did it. We know what he can do. We know what he is, but we need to know what he can do on teams. What you have a guy that's number 15 out there wearing a shiesty for whatever reason in 90-degree heat. I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't want a head sleeve on in the middle of it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All I know is if you're looking at the receiving pool, are you going to keep Hamler? I don't see that because you would have done it already. White Steve, as they call him. I had him all in my notes. White Steve. And it's the funny thing is, I forget who was it, but they were like, who the hell's Black Steve then?
Right.
Nobody knows who Black Steve
Why they keep calling him White Steve? Like what? Jeez.
Well, I mean, he was interesting. He was intriguing. He didn't play teams that I saw, but he was intriguing. And by the way, for some reason or other, we missed Derek Forrest playing 40 snaps. I don't know where he got 40 snaps at. Yeah, he was on the field 40 times.
I can't wait till y'all 22 comes out now. I need to see this.
There he is.
Freaking Waldo on the Bills field.
So yeah, I think he let Shavers kick field goals. That probably wouldn't be enough either. But no, that was my major gripe. Watching Shavers, I'm like, okay, we know he's a receiver. We know that. And in most teams, that's enough. On most teams, that's enough.
Yeah.
But in other news, I'm gonna drive you nuts with this one. Gosnell's the only white dude in wide receiver. That is so racist. Hey, White Steve, get over here. Oh my God.
That's actually pretty funny.
Hey, Black Keyshawn, get over here. You know what White Keyshawn is?
Well, see, the funny part is, if you was in a wide receiver room and you was the only black dude and your name was Keyshawn, they wouldn't even have to say Black Keyshawn. There are no white dudes named Keyshawn in the world. If there is, show me one right now. I want to be proven wrong.
I would love to be too.
I want to know a white guy named Keyshawn.
Gosnell is the only. I gotta read it again. The only white dude in the wide receiver room, hence White Steve.
White Steve.
I'm like, oh, I would ask, who's the other Steve? Who else is?
You loving this way too much.
It's been too many days now. I've been laughing every time I hear it. I wrote it and I said, I have to say this on the show. I don't even know who this guy is, but I have to say it. Wait, somebody said that, I'm not sure in the comments, somebody said he was on the field with Hancock. I'm thinking you're talking about Hamlin. I have to look at it, but I don't know where they the safety tandem was Hancock playing corner. What was the scenario?
I thought Hancock only played safety in the game.
They did, okay, because I don't remember them two being together, but maybe they were.
Oh well, that might have been like late in the second,
maybe
where Hancock was on the field. Yeah, because Hancock was all over the place towards the end of the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And
he said Forrest is on the field with Hancock.
Oh, okay.
Yeesh, I really didn't see him then. Okay.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I saw Hancock.
If we really want to be technical, players who make plays need other players to play their positions in order for plays to be made.
True. I'm laughing at they deduces. Now Sweat says White Steve is making the starting roster. Somebody said, what did they say up here? They said something about, where was it? They said something about Steve Tasker was in the wide receiver room with Don Beebe. But did anybody call him White Steve? No. Yeah, they're having a ball with this. White Steve is White Steve. Am I gonna get in trouble? I don't even care. I gotta say White Steve.
For that?
The network's gonna frown on this. Wait, we don't have a network. Oh. But yeah, no, I actually want to give credit to another player that I'm the only one that's critical of, and people make fun of me for this.
Okay. Oh God.
If Mac was there, he would laugh. He'd be like, "Key, don't do it." Punter.
Oh God.
Robbins was the best punter I have seen here in
Oh,
so
my
long.
God,
Not
bro.
Bohorquez.
Say it with your
Not Howell.
chest.
If we're having the success we want to have, we never see a punter.
4.6 on the 4.64. That is uncalled. And
You should be ashamed of yourself. Do you hear what you're saying?
4 point.
He does.
The net
You're
yardage.
lauding the success of a punter, which means we were unsuccessful on third down.
We're flipping the field.
No, we're not.
Flipping the field is crazy.
No, we're not. We're giving the ball away.
To flip the field. Oh, man.
All right, fine.
But
You
yeah,
can
no,
have that
but you know, it was. I didn't like the mustache, and I didn't know.
Yeah, what was with
I
that?
don't know. That was strange. I didn't like the mustache, and he had the shadow on the sides, but he's only like 25 or something. So I'm like,
Oh no, man.
I don't know about that. He had your ball down lower. Put your helmet back on. But yeah, no, I look back at his college. Yo, the only year he wasn't great at playing in college was his freshman year. Every other year he was. I think the worst return average he had was 7.8 against. 7.8. That's excellent.
Mhm.
He's booming 60-yarders. This guy, he's got to live. I think we don't need to talk about punter anymore because we have one for now. No network. Woohoo.
Who said that?
Nate.
Oh, Nate. Daquan, careful, bro. Careful. You might be.
You might
being
incite a pause. I don't know.
You might be a little too negative here.
He might. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can be topped.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can be topped.
That's hard to do too.
That's hard
to do too. All right. So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
In what world would the Bills ever be in a position that they could not afford a roster spot for an additional kicker, which would put them in a place to have Ray Davis come in and kick a field goal?
You know what? I think that was more of a thing just to do it.
It's right.
Yeah,
it's like a kids' day game.
Yeah,
thing.
they're like, oh, let's do the Harlem Globetrotters thing and go out there and kick the football, and then they go nuts when he makes it, and I'm like, whatever, because it was weird that he kicked the extra point, and then we have another guy that just comes out and kicks the rest of it. He only does it one time, and then they have this guy kick.
Yeah,
I'm like, where'd this guy come from?
right.
I didn't even when Ray went out there, I said we must not have anybody else. Then
I said y'all deserve. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, I just threw my hands up. Y'all deserve to lose. Y'all deserve to lose. Right, like the way y'all was getting beat up by the Giant starters, y'all deserve to lose. Yeah. You do. To me, it says so much about where the franchise thinks it is. Yeah. It says so much that you think as a franchise you can cater to Kids Day in a preseason game that at the heart is designed to assess the players on your team, not to put on a show for the people in the stands.
I could see if Bass was healthy. I could see if it was Steve Christie at the time. I could see, that kind of deal when you're cemented, but your kicker is hurt, so you got to kind of figure some things out. So that was odd, especially when he didn't do it again.
Right. Like if that's something that you were trying to work on for just in case, then. And to your point, if we had seen that consistently, I think at that point we're thinking they're probably going to keep 7 receivers. They're probably going to keep 6 linebackers. They're going to bulk up at all these positions that they keep experiencing these injuries at. Maybe this is an indicator, but to only have done it one time screams fluke more than anything else. You know what I'm saying? And then to be asked questions about it afterwards, how did the kick go? And you hear Ray Davis talking about, oh, well, it was either going to go in and, people were going to be, praising me on social media or people were going to be telling me I can't kick. Either way, I wouldn't care if I'm a running back.
I would have needed to see him do a slick back after that. Just do a slick back right down the sideline like the one boy from, was it Chicago did? Kick the field goal and just start moonwalking off the field. You didn't finish. You didn't understand the assignment.
Some of this stuff really, really escapes me in terms of the seriousness of the franchise about getting to a place. Yeah. It's not a network, it's a program. But again, the mentality of my franchise says everything when I think about the level of success that they've had, right? And that's why I made the point last episode. This would have been last Monday, that the success of a franchise is commensurate with the plan and the execution of the plan, right? The level of success that we've seen is not because they're trying everything that they can possibly try. Right. We haven't seen them build a bunch of different style of teams. We haven't seen them draft a bunch of different style of players. We've seen them play one way. We've seen them draft one way. We've seen them sign one type of player, and that's it. And they keep saying, we're going to keep kicking at the door. The mindset of that is in line with a college program. We're just going to keep trying to get as many 5 stars as we can get. We're going to recruit and we're going to try to develop our team. And we understand that players are going to graduate and they're going to want to go to other places and stuff like that. But right now it's about the success of the program, right? Why? Because the program in college is what helps to bring in money. Colleges need money, right? So they bring in these players so that they can get the TV deals, so that they can get the merchandising deals, so that they can get the advertisement deals, because that's what helps keep the college viable in the market, right? If the focus ever became about winning a national championship, well, then some of these colleges would spend what USC spends or what Ohio State spends or what Alabama spends to continue to get these players and these coaches that keep these programs going for as long as they've been going and having the success that they've been having. Right? There's a reason that stuff happens the way that it happens. And that's why, if you're really paying attention to what we're saying on the show, you would understand unequivocally that it's not about negativity. It's not about hating the team. It's about having an understanding that there's a certain thing that we've seen winning teams do, and then there's a certain thing that we see the Buffalo Bills do. And it's not about regular season wins at all. It's about everybody. There's not one person in this city or in this fan base that can argue that the Bills have a postseason problem.
Right. Yep. And Daquan asks, what progress do I expect from the all-important second game in which Josh will play? I expect the offensive line to play better, because if they don't, it's going to be bad for them.
Yeah.
Because if Josh even gets touched, they're screwed. I expect, if there is a quick pass, it's going to be a quick pass to Keon Coleman, hopefully Dalton Kincaid. Just to try to get some kind of rapport with them real fast before they pull them. I expect some kind of work to be done with regards to an actual game day offense. But I think you just got to get the mental reps in it and let Keon Coleman catch a ball, as well as Dalton Kincaid.
Yeah,
I threw that one up there already.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I threw that.
Okay, I like that one.
That was hilarious.
Wait, you guys are calling someone too negative is like calling the kettle white Steve. That's hilarious, bro.
Another question: do we think McDermott is let go if the season doesn't end with a Super Bowl or Super Bowl appearance? No, I don't. Yeah,
that's hard. It's hard. It's hard to accept, but I think that's the reality of it. To me, and again, this is why I'm taking more of a stance now on the owner, because at the end of the day, they were talking about this on the morning show, and they were just, they talked about it in a funny way, but I mean, the losses that you have to Tennessee on the QB sneak, 13 seconds, the Vikings game, you got all of these ridiculous losses that you really had no business losing as the caliber of franchise that you are, as the caliber of team that you have, or with the caliber of team that you have, and still and yet no consequences for the head coach, right? But the reason that there's been no consequences for the head coach is because the owner don't know no better. Right? You got an owner that's listening to his head coach and relying on his head coach for information and advice and an assessment of how things are going, which gives the head coach the power to do what? Point the finger at whoever he wants to point at as the reason for the loss or the reason for the lack of success, not himself. And what have we seen over the last 8 years? This is undeniable, people. Listen closely. Sean McDermott has fired Rick Dennison. He basically forced Dayball out the door. pissed him off to no end.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get along. Dayball got out of there as fast as he could.
Yep,
right? Frazier jumped ship. The wide receiver coach, right? The strength and conditioning coach jumped ship.
Yep.
Right. We happen to know that there were several employees inside the building, like at the headquarters that worked there, that left because of the culture that Sean McDermott started to instill there. And not from a standpoint of we just don't feel like we fit in, but from a standpoint of because of the color of our skin, we're worried about our standing in the company. Now, again, this is I can't tell you who tells me this stuff, but people who are in the building are seeing these things happen.
Where's Jimbo?
Huh?
Where's Jimbo? You ain't got no sources.
All right. Yeah, of course. I have no sources whatsoever.
He's still lost.
I mean, look, I'll put it like this. Leslie Frazier was at a Christmas party and he saw Sean McDermott after he walked around a little bit. He went up to Sean McDermott and he goes, "Yo, man, where all the black folk at?" Like, for real. He literally asked him, like, "Where all the black folk at?" And Sean McDermott he looked confused, like, what are you talking about? Right? Now, give me a second to explain. The mentality that Sean McDermott, Terry Pagula, Brandon Beane talk about is what we saw Trey White do on the HBO show. Did you see Trey White when he was talking to Brandon Beane?
No, I didn't watch Hard Knocks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for those of you who saw Hard Knocks, think about Trey White's behavior with Christian Benford, with any other player, with the media, and then go back and look at his behavior around Brandon Beane and tell me that there's not a difference in the way that he approaches everybody else and then the GM and the head coach. And it's not about respect for position. You don't behave like that just from respect for position. You behave like that because you're in a culture where you understand that your value is very little compared to the grand scheme of whatever Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott are trying to cook up. Right? And for Trey White to come in and have the value that he has because your rookie's hurt, because he's the guy that's primarily responsible for putting his arm around the rookie and bringing him along, Trey White has more value than any other corner on this team not named Max Hairston.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian Benford, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You could even throw Taron Johnson in there, but you got other guys. You got Cam Lewis. You got.
I think Trey White's good. That's a good place. That's where you want to park because Trey White's the first ever draft pick. He's the longest tenured guy, even though he did leave. So yeah, I would even we're gonna catch fire for this, but I would even leave anybody else out. It's Trey White. Yeah.
So again, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, we're not trying to be, enigmatic or to start cultural fires or whatever. But I think the idea here is what we're seeing in this mindset that the Buffalo Bills have when they say humble and hungry, and and we've said before, they want yes men, they want players who are just happy to be there. There's a mentality behind that, and it's not just for black players. It's for everybody. It's for every player that comes into that building. They see them as less than. They don't see them as valuable assets. They see them as commodities that they can just if you don't fit the culture. You know what I'm saying? And that's not how you build a franchise in the NFL. You can't expect these players to come in here and buy into the culture, but then treat them the way that you're treating them. And I'm telling you right now, based on things that are now starting to leak out, these players aren't buying into the culture. These players have learned how to survive in the culture. And that's a very big difference. Black folk call it code switching.
Mm-hmm.
You code switch, right? You behave a certain way at work, and you behave a certain way when you at home with your folk, right? But again, this is not just for black players. This is everybody. Every last Bills player in there is coming in learning this is what's expected of you. This is what you got to do to get by. And they do it. They do it well. They say all the right things. Look at Deion Dawkins. Look at Deion Dawkins. Just look at his interviews. When he's talking to who was it, DJ
Vlad.
Yeah, DJ Vlad. Completely different from when he's on with freaking Colin Cowherd.
Yeah, he didn't say.
Right, he ain't doing that.
That didn't come out. DJ Vlad would have been like, what?
right. He would have got laughed at in the hood for doing some mess like that.
What was that?
But he can do that in front of Matty Glab though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like stuff like that is like, if you really paying attention to the game, if you really looking beneath the surface of what the Bills want you to see with their program, you would see that the stuff is so obvious.
Yeah, I think this year's Hard Knocks is going to be weird in ratings because I heard it's one of the most boring ones that they've ever seen, but the majority of the world is a Bills fan, so they're going to love it, so they're going to keep watching it. So I hope they step it up for people that want to watch it. I just don't want to get caught up in that side of it because it's we've seen it. You can watch Embedded. It's going to be cookie cutter. You're not really going to get insight into a lot of stuff that I guess people thought they were going to get. So I'm like, I just can't. I can't. I will listen to anybody who wants to tell me about it. I'm not going to tell you I don't want to hear about it, but for me, I just can't watch it. Somebody asked about what about Samuel? What do we think is going to happen with Samuel? I think next injury he has, he's going to go on IR.
If he's lucky.
I think they're going to, they can't cut him and they trading him. They'll take dead cap. So they're going to try to get through this year, stashing him and getting another person on the 53. So I think IR is the way he's going to go. That's where you're going to see his Shavers. You're going to see Chenault.
Yeah, but they still got to pay his salary. Why?
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is if you cut him now, everything accelerates. So whatever's left on his contract comes into this year. So you got to keep him.
Yeah.
Until the end of this. I think after this year you have an out, I believe. I got to look at his contract again. I think after this year you have an out, but it's too late now to do anything with him worth anything. So you got to stash him somewhere, but you don't want to lose that 53rd roster spot. That's where I think the Shavers person comes or somebody like that comes on.
I think I'll put it like this, if they're smart, and I think you're probably closer to what's going to happen than what I'm saying. But if they're smart, you trade him for a 2026 7th round pick and you cut your losses. Because whatever team takes him, they have to pay him the $7 million for for his salary this season, right? But by getting that 7th round pick, you get his money off your books. Yeah, it's just a 7th round pick, but you get the money off your books. More than anything else, the Bills need cap space right now. They need maneuverability, right? And they don't have it right now. They're $900,000 in the hole as of today, right now.
We're 51. Once they go to 53,
right? So it's gonna jump. But to answer this question really quick, Nico says, so what did Coach McD answer to Frazier's question? The public has a right to know. He didn't see a problem with it. He didn't see a problem with it, and he said that. He said, I don't understand the problem.
Which
right?
I believe. Which I believe.
Yeah. And again, if you're the type of person that is looking at that and saying, well, Sean McDermott's not looking at color. I mean, if all of your minority employees leave your front office, like leave, like Chad Hall, I'm out, lateral move. If they all leave and your defensive coordinator happens to be of color and he comes to a party, he notices, man, it's me and like 2 other people in this joint. Like, what's going on? It wasn't like this when I got the job. What's going on? Right? I mean, again, take from this what you will, but we're just reporting what happens in the building and what we've been told by people who are in the building. So, I mean, look, my point in bringing this stuff up is to show that there's a certain mindset that the team has that devalues the player. And that has been the problem from jump. When you devalue your players to that degree and you rely heavily on your process, you think like Sean McDermott thinks, and you think to the degree where we don't need talent, we need attitude. That's a direct quote. Am I lying? That's a direct quote. Sean McDermott said, "We attitude over ability is what he said.
He did.
Attitude over ability. So that means, and Sean said it, and I said this in last episode, this past Monday. If you think that you can turn Greg Rousseau into Trey Hendrickson, good luck, sir. I need to go find another team to cheer for. If you think that you can turn Khalil Shakir into Jamar Chase, good luck, sir. I need to go find another team to cheer for. If you think you have that kind of ability, then basically what you're saying is you are the reason why Josh Allen became Josh Allen. Not the work he did with Jordan Palmer, not the work he did under Brian Daboll, not the work he did on his own in the offseason, not everything that was in him intelligence-wise and photographic memory-wise to be able to learn the plays and study the game and do all the things that he did to make himself as good as he is now. You think you were the reason that he became that.
Yeah.
If that's the case, why don't you have a team full of 53 Josh Allens? If that's the case.
Because you draft late.
What does that have to do with anything? The Ravens been doing that forever.
Did you tell Bean that?
I don't think anybody can tell Bean anything at this point.
Because one, we got kicked off the network. No, we didn't. We left. And two, I don't need Brandon Bean calling that we have no insurance protection now. Talking about, what are you guys talking about? You can't get Josh Allen at 50 at 32. You can't.
Yep.
You can. Maybe not Josh Allen, but you can get talent. It's not over because you're good. Right. But I can tell you, I love you, bro. Love you, bro, Junior. But I respectfully disagree with your premise about the party.
Really?
Yeah. Sean McDermott ain't the reason ain't no black people there.
What? Okay, then why wouldn't no?
Oh, snap. Here you go.
It wasn't no Reese T there, man.
Yes, sir. Wasn't no Reese T.
What's better than Southern style tea? This is one part refreshing, one part delicious, two parts healthy. That's what you can expect when there's only 4 ingredients. Yep. I got you there, didn't I? See?
Yeah.
I don't even drink tea, but let me tell you, that's a good drink there. What you doing? Head over to Reeves, get yourself a supply by the case or individual. Why would you do that? Get yourself the case. You would not be disappointed. But what do I know? See Junie for myself. Reeves Tea. Click the link in the description below. Use the code PPP. Let them know who sent you. But yeah, no, I had to throw it because I was like, don't jump off this part because I know my segue this week. I think I got it. But no, it's you know, like I said, a lot of me is I just like being a fan. So I listen to it and I'm listening. You can verify this. I don't ask you anything outside the show that
true
you don't say on the show.
Yep.
I learn with you guys. So I mean, honestly, I just love it. I love doing this, and I didn't know how I was going to feel now with not being on Twitter and all that stuff. But I can tell you, I feel much better.
But we're still on Twitter.
No, I mean,
they're Twitter
yeah.
and all. Yeah,
I feel much better, and I feel like myself again. Not because they were restricting us in any kind of way, but it just didn't seem natural. It wasn't what we started with.
Yeah.
You know, we started with a vibe. We started with group. And the 52 people watching right now are the people that we know really rock with us.
No doubt.
I mean, 1,400 people watching, but nobody subbed. To hell with them.
Right. And really, realistically, we would have, you know, anywhere between 1,000 and 1,500 people watching. And still the people that are in our comments right now would be the only people in our comments.
Yep. And they weren't subbing anyway. So
right, exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly.
If you like us, you'll find us. If you don't, to hell with you.
Yep.
And that's how that's the tagline we're gonna have. Everybody in the comments, you take that with you because you guys really make the show go and make it worthwhile. I mean that sincerely. You know, hope to see you guys again, and it's been fun for me. June, you got anything else?
Just one thing. Just like for the correction for the YouTube thing, it is babyface_assassin4. I just want to clear that out.
Yep. I put that. Well, what I did is I went to your YouTube channel and I copied the share link and I put the yep. Okay. That is in the description of this video. So,
having a little bit minor difficulties as far as the echoing, but once I clear that up.
Oh, for your stream?
Yes. So there are going to be some games as far as gameplays. Those are going to be on as far as like YouTube, and then there are going to be some games that are going to be on Twitch.
Okay.
So
we'll find you.
Yeah.
No doubt. That y'all definitely check him out.
I'm gonna find you.
Again, babyface_assassin4 is the YouTube channel page address. All right. I'm gonna give this music a second to roll because I guess what usually happens is I start trying to talk and you can't hear anything I'm saying. And not that the music is loud, but it just I don't know, because we're streaming, it warbles it or whatever. But here we go. Hopefully by now you can hear what I'm saying, and that means we got to jump out the window. So Reese T News on deck. We are on our way into Delta Sonic stores, and we are on our way into Top stores. Okay, so be on the lookout for Reese T there if you're not already buying it online. If you're in the Buffalo area, those will be the two areas that you can get it. On the way to the game, we are also going to have tents open at the game. I think the one we have set right now is going to be at Prohibition. We're going to be right at the corner of Abbott and whatever that road is that the Bill Stadium is on, that intersection there, right where Prohibition is at, right at the corner. So you can come check us out there, say hi, grab some tea on your way into the game or on the way into your tailgate. We're also going to be there after the game, so if you want to grab a little bit on for your ride home or whatever, to kind of cool down from a spicy Bills dub. Definitely come check us out. Right now, we are efforting to have a tent on the other side of the stadium on Big Tree side there. So I'll keep you posted on that. But again, make sure you check out that Reese tea because it is life-changing. You can drink it just clean with just virgin style, or you can spike that bad boy and it'll taste even better.
Keyshawn style.
Keyshawn style is right.
20 cans, bro. I'm buying 20 cans.
Well, it comes in glass bottles.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm buying 20.
There you go. All right. So look, with that being said, we appreciate everybody, all 50 of y'all, and I think we were up to like 68 at one point. Everybody that tuned in, thank y'all so much for sticking with us. We appreciate y'all as family. And look, I'm gonna yeah.
He's been saying that a couple times.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, just for if nobody knows what he's talking about, bam, there it is right there. That t-shirt is on the merch page. That link is in the description of this video as well, and that means fire the coach. There it is.
That's it.
Or let him cook. Let him cook. So every time we say it, you're gonna put your hands up like that. All right. Yep. All right, we got to get out of here because Key's got to get to work on time, and I'm not getting blamed for this. So this has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Let him cook.
Let him cook.
40 keys.
And they're producing the building. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, have a great night. Wait, real quick. I'm going to be on Tommy's show at 9. I think it starts at Mafia Sports Report. I'm going to be a co-host on that show, so if y'all want to come check me out, I'll be there too.
Oh, wait. There'll be a show on Friday. Oh,
Friday at 5:30?
Yeah.
Okay. See y'all then. Peace.